What do you consider is your greatest sexual achievement? A spring popped out of the bed and cut my leg open. Still finished. Doesn't matter, had sex. Doesn't mattress. Going down on a lady I was dating and afterwards her stating this is something all women should experience. Same. Except she preceded it with, you really know your way around a pussy. Had her makes you feel like a damn stallion. Breaking the bed while having sex. Granted the bed was 20 plus years old and needed replacement, but it still counts. We broke one of those cheap college futons once. Still funny as it was not mine. That was you. I want a new futon. Me too. Me 3 and stop breaking people's fucking futons. Getting my boyfriend off while he was on Prozac. As a guy on Zoloft. My greatest reason for eventually getting off it is so I can get back to getting off without an ungodly amount of concentration and perseverance. That seems pretty counterintuitive to treating depression. Feeling sad. How about a pill that makes your D stop working? It's kinda worse than not working. It works perfectly until you are about to come. Then it's like your whole body goes numb. You can come alright. You just don't feel it. Zoloft made my balls hurt. Was getting a blowjob while Jeopardy was on TV and got all the answers right. Were they all answered with yes? And did you answer in the form of a question? Yes. I think you mean what is yes? I ate out my wife once and apparently I was doing too good. She punched me in the forehead out of nowhere and I asked what the hell. She said she was about to black out. I still bring that one up with her. Knocked up my wife on our first try at having kids. First ultrasounds showed twins. I joke that we have a 200% success rate. Dude badass. My best friend ended up having testicular cancer when he was 19. So they took one nut. Scared the S out Tammy. Thinking that can happen so young to guys like us. Skip forward another decade and his wife and him were trying to have a kid. I was stoked they were gonna try. But I was low-key had my doubts. Nope. Fucker proved me wrong. A month into trying. Twins. Crazy stuff. I suppose testicles are like kidneys. We only really need one. It's just nice to have a backup. If we could say the same for the liver. Livers are nuts though. A liver transplant, they take a portion of someone else's liver and turns into a whole new liver. I can yo-yo with my pee. Why is this comment so far down? I guess in reality it should go up and down and up and down. F you cunt. Have up vote. After several years of marriage, my wife finally learned how to be comfortable enough during sex to achieve orgasm, and I finally learned what the hell I was doing to help her get there. Feeling her muscles spasm around my fingers as her fingers grip the sheets and the sounds. Best feeling ever. Edit. I've been asked for technique. Prefaced by saying my wife seems to be heavily G-spot stimulated. So yeah. Basically start with a wide area to kiss. Touch. Talking from stomach area to thighs. But obviously, light touching here is probably preferred. If she/you are into that, then you're gonna want to hone in as you go and shrink that area to basically just see down to butthole. Focus mostly on labia/clit and go slow. Once she's wet enough, get the fingers working. Slowly. If you're unfamiliar with where the G-spot is, it's at the top of the tunnel and it's ridged when you're inserting your fingers. Find this and rub it on each stroke in and out. Apply light pressure here as you're doing so. You'll hit a point where you're clearly doing something right. Her body language should say so. If you're feeling it right, you should start focusing solely on that clit with some finger action thrown in there. My wife doesn't mind taking the finger out and caressing down her, but every now and then. But as she's getting closer, you should primarily be focusing on that G-spot and especially the clit. You can speed up if you want, probably tongue more than fingers, but it's important to read the situation. Typically if her climax is building, switching tempo is more likely to throw her off. However, there will be an obvious moment where she's beginning to come. Here's where you can go into overdrive a bit and let her ride it out. Be careful though. My understanding is that this area can get hypersensitive very quickly after climax and can actually hurt, so read her cues to know when to back off. Last thing, learn how to suck on the clit. No teeth. Kind of like sucking tomato guts out of a tomato, as it gives your tongue a rest and also feels amazing from what I can tell. Hope this helps. Instructions unclear. I cummed instead. You just bested the op who came only by thought. I was able to climax once, based on the power of thought alone. Him just imagining a human person levitating, eyes all white like the Avatar, and then just a fountain of cum. Or was it a bit different? It's like lying in bed all tense and sweaty, face twisted as I imagine some extremely detailed S and then boom. I'm squirming. I can have mini ones. A pleasant throbbing sensation, but not intense by squeezing my legs together occasionally lol. One time I did that BC I was wearing high-waisted jeans WRLY tight belt, and I rotated my hips forward, and the seam pressed RLY hard on my little mayo. About 8.5 months ago my wife and I decided we were going to start trying to have a baby. My wife even joked around that if I could get her pregnant by February she would buy me a brand new Boston Bruins jersey. She always had this insecurity that she might not be able to get pregnant, or it might be tough. I decided to make things a little spicy and banged her right on the kitchen table, and she said it was hands down her favorite time. Anyway, I should get to meet my daughter in about 2 weeks. I will be wearing my jersey. Oh my god, that was hilarious. My boyfriend made me squirt once and has been trying so hard to do it again, since I would say that is his greatest achievement so far. He enjoyed it more than I did lol. Same lol. Issue is I squirt without orgasming and vice versa. It just feels like I get very wet very quickly. But it happened when we couldn't have sex and were just doing foreplay for like an hour. But IDK if it's odd, but I much prefer internal stimulation than external as soon as I'm ready I get impatient and want it in me. I know he wants to see me do it again cause I see him watching during hand stuff. I just picture him staring intently at your V while furiously rubbing it and it's hilarious. Bless his heart. I was the first person to ever get my ex to come. She baked me a cake afterwards. Should made a cream pie instead. Slow clap. 40 years. Same partner. Neither tapped out even once. Still awesome. 40 years for one sex session is long. One of you better say stop. Both of them forgot the safe word. Lol. I'm cracking up over the visual of a couple who would like to finish already, but they are forced to keep going for 40 years because they both forgot the safe word. Had a surprise 3-way with my GF at the time and her best friend. Literally had to go to the bathroom to give myself a mirror pep talk. Always curious when I hear about random 3-ways with 2 girls that are friends. Did they just take turns with you, or did they mess around with each other? Not my story, but a coworker's. He had a ref WB living next door. Out of the blue she started screaming for her friend to get upstairs and join him. He had no clue. The girls didn't mess around, but now they are also no longer friends. Yeah, threesomes are a pretty easy way to destroy relationships. At the beginning of the year someone asked the sub about threesome experiences and the overwhelming majority of replies was that it fucked the relationship in some way or another. Sometimes fantasies should remain just that. Not having my D4 loft despite fapping 23 times a day. Almost a decade ago. Bruh. Receiving a blowjob in a ski gondola with magnificent alpine panorama in front of me, and many friends in the gondola behind having no clue, and my GF going all in because she knew she only had 8 minutes to finish me off. What did you do with the other 7 minutes? Admired the magnificent alpine panorama. Didn't you read the post? I gave a classmate one of those seize your orgasms once. It was an interesting experience, but then she gave me HPV. Youch. I convinced a friend that thought that they had nothing to offer, that they had value and got him to ask out a girl. Every time they go at it, I consider it another win for me. Edit. For those of you who are looking for the same thing, I don't know you, and I don't know if I can personally help you in any way. But I do have this that I can share for all of you. Kindness and compassion is something anyone can learn if you don't already have it. Kindness and compassion is something of value that isn't gated by your physical limits or your mental capabilities. It doesn't expire, and it isn't always easy, so if it is genuine people will respond. Everyone deserves affection. The person you are wooing, as well as yourself. Be a person that spreads love and joy. Be a person easy to love and be willing to work towards it. If you do, you will definitely increase your chances of finding someone. Remember to be kind, be compassionate and be brave. I hope this helps. Wholesome math bro. Wait. How do you know what hairstyle he has? He left his blinds open last night.